The course of a conversation a few weeks ago brought to memory something that had been on my mind for quite some time. My mind immediately started racing, and I couldn't stop it from racing. First, I thought it was quite terrifying, and that it had caused me to become concerned and scared about the situation as a consequence of the experience. After a period of time, if you find yourself thinking about specific life circumstances over and over again for no apparent reason, it's likely that you'll find yourself returning to them in your thoughts again. Something like this will be etched in your memory for the rest of your life, and will never be entirely erased from your conscious mind. Words of this kind may be defined as words that plays continuously in your brain and that you can't seem to get out of your head, no matter how hard you try to get it to stop. At the same moment that I was mentally repeating these mantras to myself, my phone rang. It turned out to be an email notice from someone I had been following on Instagram, which I opened on my phone immediately. My attention was immediately drawn to the phrase "shake it off" when I first began reading the post, and it remained with me all the way through to the finish. I was utterly taken by surprise by the post, and I exclaimed, "Oh my God," as soon as I saw it. I couldn't hold back the tears that were streaming down my cheeks. I couldn't say anything. My internal monologue was taking up so much of my attention that I didn't realize how much it was interfering with my ability to be truly present for everyone else I knew during the day, thereby resulting in my being less present for them. It is inevitable that everyone will feel melancholy at some point in their life, whether as a result of the loss of a loved one, the breakdown of a relationship, or simply as a result of the passage of time. But it is important to understand that you are not alone in your feelings of helplessness if you are experiencing feelings of sadness. In the words of philosopher David Hume, everyday life is unavoidable. It is a component of one's existence that is intimately related to one's existence. It is important to recognize that, even in the middle of the difficulties we are facing, we have the ability to choose how we react to those difficulties, despite the fact that many of us believe we have no control over our emotions. We really do have the ability to do so. People have a strong inclination to place blame on one another for their failings, especially in the aftermath of a failed relationship or after being hurt in a relationship. This is especially true after a failed relationship or after being harmed in a relationship. Immediately after the termination of a relationship, it is vital to consider your alternatives for moving on with your life. It is impossible to stress the importance of seeking help in order to properly get rid of the negative thoughts that are inhibiting your development in life. What precisely could you do when a relationship ends and you are dealing with negative thoughts that are preventing you from moving on? How do you react to it, or what can you do? Which of the following are your thoughts on this situation? What should we do when confronted with this negative life situation? Should we choose to stay stuck by our memories, or should we choose to get rid of them and go on with our lives? The question is, what do you do when you find yourself in this situation? It should come as no surprise that heartbreak and suffering are so prevalent in the world, given that they are intrinsically linked to human life. Why am I having such a difficult time letting go of these negative thoughts and returning to my normal life? Is almost surely a question you've been asking yourself lately. Using the strategies shown in this video, you will learn how to let go of negative thoughts and forgive yourself as well as others if you follow through with the instruction. It is your goal in this video to learn how to let go of harmful thoughts and how to forgive both yourself and others. This will be useful to you as well as to others around you who are also affected. I'm going to start with the most fundamental point. Enable yourself to let go of the bad emotions that have taken over your life, and allow yourself to continue on your present trajectory. When you make the decision to cease replaying painful and humiliating memories in your mind, you are exercising your freedom of choice. Whether this is a conscious or unconscious decision, there is a chance that it will be made. The ability to persuade yourself that you must let it go when you are reminded of a horrific incident that occurred in the past, or of someone who has mistreated you is critical. Particularly poignant is the case when you are reminded of someone who has harmed you in some way. Please put an end to this. Following a person's decision to end their relationship with you, it is natural to experience a variety of emotions, and you should be prepared to deal with them all as soon as possible following the breakup. Make every effort not to let your emotions get in the way of your reaching your objectives and dreams. When a relationship comes to an end, rather of seeing it as a traumatic occurrence, you might consider it as the beginning of an exciting and new chapter. Instead of seeing your relationship's breakup as a cause of irritation, consider it as a developmental and learning opportunity for both of you to grow and learn from your past experiences together. What matters is that we all feel confident in ourselves, regardless of whether this is our first relationship or whether we had previously been involved with someone else, given that it improves one's ability to focus, regardless of age or background. You can get a better understanding of yourself and enhance your ability to improve yourself and become a better person in the long term. Perhaps you are filled with bitterness and rage as a consequence of the method in which your relationship came to an end, as well as your own personal feelings about it at the time of its demise. Even at this point of the process, you may find yourself inclined to be spiteful against your ex, and you may have fantasies about interfering with or destroying their life as a result of their actions, or even any further connections that they could form in the future. Please keep in mind that doing so will not help your pain go away any sooner or make it any easier. On the contrary, doing so will only make it worse, rather than making you feel better than before. It is extremely probable that the incident will make you feel worse, and that the healing process may be hampered as a result of the occurrence, which is completely unacceptable. Until you are serious about ending your cycle of thought repetition, you will not be successful in moving on unless you make the conscious decision to stop reliving events in your mind and to let them all go at the same time. Number 2. When it comes to criticizing others, only do it when it is really essential. Despite the fact that it is easy to believe that one is the victim of a scenario, it is also important to remember that almost every tale has two sides to it. It is acceptable to recognize to yourself and the other person that you had a part in the situation in one way or another when the situation calls for it to be done. As a result of meditating on how you might have handled the situation better and how you plan to manage it differently next time, you feel more in command of the situation because you recognize that you are in command of it. Number 3. Focus on the present moment by making a deliberate effort to do so. As long as you keep your attention entirely focused on the current moment, you will have little time or energy to think back on any errors you may have made in the past, which is a good thing. You have to embrace the present in a spirit of joy and achievement rather than completely avoiding it. My daily practice of dedicating some time each morning to the meditation of the Word of God and prayer has shown to be successful in assisting me in maintaining a more focused presence throughout the day. And I want to encourage you to keep up this practice as well. It will really help you.